Good morning to you, good morning to you. We all in our places with sun shining faces. Good morning to you, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And good morning on a Tuesday. Different today because yesterday was a bank holiday and I was away. So today we are meeting on a different day. But I hope that some of you will show up today and take part in our lesson. I am very excited to be here as always. Let me know in the comments that you are here. So how is everyone? How was your long weekend? I think in Poland Friday was not off. I don't actually know, but I know on Friday already people are preparing for Easter. And Monday is off. Monday is Śmigus Dingus. It's a wet Monday, let's call it that. And I hope that you had a good one and you spent some time with your family or friends. Maybe you went away somewhere. So let me know what you did during Easter and what kind of things happened on your side. Good morning, Marzena, Isabella, and Alexandra. Good morning to you. I went away on Friday. I came back yesterday. My boyfriend and I went to Alentejo region. Alentejo is a region in the south of Portugal. It's very beautiful, really beautiful countryside, really green. Really amazing, and we stayed in an amazing place called Monserrat, and they have a castle. There's a hill, there is a castle, and from the castle you can see a lake nearby, and all the meadows and fields and everything. It's very beautiful and very quiet, very calm, very nice. And we had amazing weather because it was almost 30 degrees and it was really hot actually, a little bit maybe too hot, but it was lovely, very nice. Marzena says, I spent winter time at home with my family and guests. Nice, good quality time, Marzena, that's really nice. And good morning to you, Agnieszka. I am glad to have you all here, and I am glad that you didn't miss the announcement that today we are starting the week on Tuesday and not on Monday. So it's good that you're here. Alexandra wrote a long message. The weekend was great. We had a lot of fun. This year I have prepared a talking game for children in the garden. At the end of the game, they had to decode the text written in Morse code. Oh my gosh! Morse code to find out where the rabbit treasure is hidden. They were so excited and had really a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, that is... Alexandra, you put a lot of effort into this. I'm sure that it took a lot of work. It seems like it took a lot of work, and also I bet your children loved it. It sounds like it was amazing. It reminds me a little bit about. It reminds me a little bit of egg hunt, Easter egg hunt. An egg hunt is something that they do in the UK and I think in the States too, but I'm not really sure. I'm not that familiar with American culture and traditions. But in the UK they have an egg hunt and they hide eggs in the garden and then the children have to go to the garden and find the eggs. So it reminds me a little bit of that. Paula says, I ate late Easter breakfast with my mom and husband and it is all. And that's all, we say. And that's all. That also sounds very nice, you know. Easter breakfast. I think a lot of people don't really put so much emphasis on Easter as on Christmas. Spending your time with, having a nice meal with your friends and family, I think that's important. Marzena, I had a lot of work at the kitchen home, so I had a lot of work in the kitchen, but I am happy. At last there was occasion to meet, talk, laugh with each other. Yes, of course, Easter and Christmas, it's a very nice time for us to get together and to talk, to chat, to laugh and be with one another. How was Easter? Too much food, too little exercise and not enough walks. Puff. Puff says, well, this is what Easter is about, right? Just getting food, good company, good food, maybe not enough exercise, but you can start today again. I actually, to be honest, I did not have, we went on a trekking on Saturday, a very long trekking, really exhausting, it was very hot, so it was 15 kilometers we did. So I had some exercise, but I had so much food during the week and so much wine and quite a lot of laziness too, that I think I need to be on a diet and just take it easy this time, this week. Tomorrow my sister is going to come back to Finland. We haven't seen each other for 2 years. Oh my gosh. So I hope so you probably had a really, really good time and you really enjoyed yourself, I'm sure. 2 years not seeing your family is a long time, I think. Especially Finland is not that far. So I'm sure that normally you see each other more often than every 2 years, right? Yeah, good stuff, guys. You had a good Easter. I'm glad to hear that. It's important to have those little moments in your life and have a rest and a relaxation and just not think about work, not think about anything else, just enjoying yourselves. That's really good. Even if it's not too even if it's not enough exercise, Path. That's so good. That once in a while it's good. Every day maybe not, but once in a while it's okay. All right, so today we are going to something got stuck. So today we are going to talk about the Brooklyn shooting. I know that it's probably not the happiest or the most joyful subject, but I found a very interesting piece of article where they're talking about catching the man. It's very short, but it has a lot of nice vocabulary and it's written in a very nice way. So I decided that we are going to talk about it, and I think it's important to know how to talk about recent events. So at the moment in the news we have a lot of information about the war in Ukraine. So if I go on BBC, on The Guardian, it's only about that. So we've done this, there is a lesson about this on YouTube, you can still watch it. And there's no, we can talk about something else. And when something big happens, I think it's important to just review vocabulary, learn something new again, and just know. So if you have a chance to talk about this event with someone, I think it's good to review these things. Więc dzisiaj będziemy sobie rozmawiać o strzelaninie w metrze w Brooklynie. Jest to coś, co się zdarzyło tydzień temu albo 2 tygodnie temu. I ja zawsze twierdzę, że dobrze jest nauczyć się mówić o czymś, co się zdarzyło, co jest takim dużym wydarzeniem. Oczywiście w wiadomościach teraz króluje wojna w Ukrainie i tak dalej, więc myślę, że nie będziemy do tego wracać, do tego tematu. Natomiast jak się coś tam gdzieś większego dzieje, I jest to w wiadomościach, warto się nauczyć o tym mówić. Dlaczego? Dlatego, że tak zwany small talk, na przykład w pracy, bardzo często dotyczy rzeczy, które się dzieją ostatnio. Oczywiście, jeżeli się spotykacie z kimś, kogo w pracy, na przykład w formalnym środowisku nie znacie, to być może nie będziecie rozmawiać o takich rzeczach jak tam strzelanina czy wojna w Ukrainie. Natomiast jeżeli na przykład poznajecie kogoś w mniej formalnym środowisku lub już tą osobę znacie, może być to Wasz kolega czy koleżanka z pracy, to warto wiedzieć, jak się o pewnych rzeczach mówi, tak? Że na przykład, słyszałeś to, czy skomentować coś w stylu ja myślę, że, uważam, że i tak dalej, i tak dalej. Mimo że nawet się nie interesujemy do końca tym, co się dzieje na świecie, to bardzo prawdopodobne jest, że ktoś nas o to zapyta, że ktoś nas o to zagada. Więc na przykład wojna w Ukrainie obecnie jest takim tematem, gdzie jak będziecie podróżować i ktoś się zapyta Was, skąd jesteście, że jesteście z Polski, to prawdopodobnie powie coś, znaczy, no wiecie, no może nie na 100%, ale bardzo często nawet tutaj w Portugalii, gdzie jestem, bardzo często leci jakiś komentarz typu oj, co się dzieje, tak, że to tak blisko Was, albo że jest dużo u Was uchodźców i tak dalej, więc to jest zawsze poruszane, także na pewno to się zawsze gdzieś tam przetoczy. I tak jest jeżeli odnośnie każdej dużej wiadomości. Dlatego też wybrałam na przykład strzelaninę w metrze. Być może ktoś tam, wiecie, jak na przykład korzystacie z aplikacji do wymiany językowej, tak, no to jakieś wydarzenia, które się dzieją gdzieś tam, może porozmawiacie sobie trochę o książkach, o filmach i tak dalej, no ale później być może właśnie dojdzie do tego, że gdzieś zostanie poruszony temat, który jest w głównych wydaniach wiadomości. Dlatego warto, nawet jak się tym nie interesujecie za bardzo, ale chcecie poprawić swój język, to warto sobie raz dziennie wejść na BBC. Naprawdę, BBC według mnie jest najlepsze, dlatego że ma najkrótsze artykuły, bardzo zwięzłe. Wiecie, na przykład inne, czasami powiedzmy CNN też jest bardzo dobrym akurat źródłem, natomiast na przykład The Guardian ma bardzo rozwlekłe artykuły, pisane bardzo kwiecistym językiem. Jak macie czas, to jak najbardziej polecam. To jest bardzo, według mnie, czasami czytam i w ogóle się tak zachwycam nad tym językiem, jakiego oni używają. Natomiast no, to są długie artykuły, to są długie wiadomości, to są po prostu, wiecie, kobyły straszne. Natomiast BBC ma prosto i wiecie, prosto z mostu i czy CNN, jak Was bardziej interesuje amerykański język, wersja języka, to można na CNN wejść i interesować się tym. Wiecie, no nie musimy w to wchodzić, tak? Ale można się interesować tym, co się dzieje gdzieś tam na świecie, żeby przynajmniej mieć temat do rozmowy i wiedzieć, jak o tym temacie rozmawiać. Dlatego ja zawsze bardzo często Wam podaję takie tematy, gdzie mówimy o tym właśnie, co się dzieje na świecie, czy w Polsce, tak? Żebyśmy wiedzieli, jak o tym rozmawiać, jak wytłumaczyć coś komuś, na przykład jak były protesty u nas kobiet, czarne protesty w Polsce, to też mieliśmy lekcje na ten temat, dlatego, że zawsze ktoś na przykład przyjedzie do Polski, widzi jakiś protest, o co chodzi, what is going on, nie? I teraz możemy im wytłumaczyć, co się dzieje na ulicach, nie? Tak myślę, że to jest dobry pomysł. Izabela się zgadza, więc cieszę się bardzo. Zanim zaczniemy, moi drodzy, ostatnia szansa, żeby się zapisać na Happy Hour. Happy Hour 21 kwietnia o 19. Tematem jest Volunteerism, Pros and Cons of Combining Travel and Tourism i będziemy sobie rozmawiać na ten temat. I teraz tak, dostajecie PDF, zapisujecie się, dostajecie PDF z materiałami do przygotowania. Musicie przeczytać artykuł i obejrzeć wideo. Przychodzicie na zajęcia i skupiamy się na przymiotnikach opisujących podróżowanie, łączenie podróżowania i travel and tourism, travel and volunteering i wolontariatu. I układamy sobie, ćwiczymy sobie zapamiętywanie tego słownictwa i układacie swoją wypowiedź na ten temat, bo to jest taki temat dosyć kontrowersyjny, więc każdy ma na ten temat jakieś zdanie. Dlatego macie też przy okazji szansę, żebym Wam sprawdziła Waszą wypowiedź. Możecie mi ją przesłać przed webinarem lub w trakcie webinaru. I webinar ma za zadanie Was nauczyć mówić, nauczyć Was ułożyć sobie wypowiedź na dany temat, nauczyć Was też, pokazać Wam, jak możecie słownictwo sobie zapamiętać. I 21, jak mówiłam, się spotykamy, ale dostajecie też oczywiście link do nagrania i możecie sobie go później obejrzeć, jak będziecie chcieli, jeżeli nie możecie 21 się stawić. Więc link zostawiam w komentarzu. Kolejna rzecz to webinar w następnym tygodniu, jak uczyć się słówek, i to jest webinar darmowy, za darmo, i to jest webinar o tym, jak uczyć się słówek. Po prostu. 26 chyba o 19, o ile się nie mylę, i również tutaj dostajecie nagranie, jeżeli nie możecie się stawić. Będziemy poznawać po prostu, podam Wam, bo nie ma jednej takiej metody na to, jak się nauczyć słówek, ale podam Wam parę takich metod, dzięki którym możecie słówka trochę szybciej zapamiętać i nie będziecie ich zapominać, bo to też jest bardzo często problem, że się uczymy słówek, a później je zapominamy po prostu, tak? No gdzieś tam, słyszymy jakieś słówko, no wiem, co to znaczy, ale zapomniałam, więc o tym będziemy sobie też na webinarze mówić. Jeżeli się nie zapisaliście, link zostawiam w komentarzu. No i chyba nie przedostatnia rzecz, jutro spotykamy się na OK English Lift z Zuzanną Filą, Susan. I Susan prowadzi facebookową stronę, również Instagrama Susan's Linguistic, i będziemy sobie z nią rozmawiać o efektywnej nauce języka, ale też pod kątem konwersacji, bo wiecie, że ja stawiam bardzo, bardzo dużą wagę na konwersację, na to, żeby mówić i się nie wstydzić, więc będziemy sobie rozmawiać też właśnie o tym, skąd bierze się nasza bariera, jak ją przełamać, jak ćwiczyć konwersację, co robić, żeby ten język cały czas był żywy, żeby go podtrzymywać, żeby się gdzieś tam nie zostawać w tyle, żeby cały czas kontynuować tę naukę, żeby ona nas prowadziła do płynnej konwersacji bez strachu i skrępowania. Ale ja o tym, tam nie ma zapisów ani nic, ona się po prostu pojawi, ten live o 20 jutro na naszej tutaj stronie facebookowej, także nie musicie nic generalnie się zapisywać, to jest bez zapisów. W zeszłym tygodniu skończył się nasz bootcamp i bootcamperzy już otrzymali zniżkę. Wczoraj i dzisiaj rano mogli się jeszcze zapisać na zajęcia raz w tygodniu, 2 razy w tygodniu ze zniżką. Jeżeli chcielibyście brać udział w następnym bootcampie, to możecie się zapisać na listę zainteresowanych. Ja w tym tygodniu jeszcze będę zbierać opinie, podzielę się z Wami opinią naszych bootcamperów w następnym tygodniu. Jeżeli chcielibyście brać udział w naszym kursie, to zapisujcie się. Dobra, będziemy zaraz przechodzić do naszej lekcji. Mam nadzieję, że jesteście przygotowani. Jest dużo słownictwa nowego, takiego dosyć skomplikowanego, więc bierzcie kartkę i długopis i będziemy zapisywać, ok? Alright, so I want to know if you have heard about Brooklyn shooting. The Brooklyn should be, probably. Have you heard about it? Was it on Polish news? Did they talk about that? It happened last week, I think. I know that they talked about it in the US, of course, because it was in Brooklyn, and in the UK. although it did not take the headline, I mean the main news, but they talked about it quite a lot. And now they mention about it because they caught the man, and the man is in jail at the moment. So they talk about it once in a while, but not. I think the war in Ukraine is the main subject. But they mention that once in a while. So Paula says not yet. Okay, interesting. So I didn't. Maybe if you don't follow the news, maybe you haven't heard, right? Because, I don't follow the news that much. I go once a day. I heard about it, Alexandra says, but it was only mentioned once. Okay, interesting. So it is said that. So I can see that it is mentioned in the news, but not a lot. Okay. So, to give you an idea what happened, in the metro in Brooklyn, in New York, a man started shooting people. Okay, so he went on the train. There was a lot of smoke because he had some, I don't know even what it is called, but he had something that released the smoke. So there was a lot of smoke, and he started shooting at people. He escaped. He ran away, but they caught him. They have him in jail at the moment, and he will have. I'm not really sure because on Friday I checked and they asked for psychiatrist and psychiatric exam for him, but I am not really sure what happened with that, if they are going to do it or if they've done it already. I don't know, but anyway, they caught the man on Friday. We didn't know why he did that. Maybe now they know something about it, but I am not really sure. So Isabella says, I heard about this too. Agnieszka says, I heard about it. But Isabella, it was short. It was short news. So I can see that in Poland, probably they didn't talk about it that much. They focused on something, so the press focuses on something else. In the West, in the US, it was a very big news, of course. In the UK, it also was quite big, but not as big as in the US. Okay, so I would like you to listen, like always. Let's listen to what happened. So they caught the man. Okay, they caught the man, and let's listen to what happened. In April, a man started shooting at people on a subway in New York. The man accused of unleashing a barrage of gunfire on a subway train in New York City will be held without bail until trial on federal terror charges. Frank James, 62, appeared in court on Thursday for allegedly violating a law barring terrorist attacks or other violence against mass transit systems. He was apprehended following a huge manhunt for the lone suspect behind the attack, which injured 23 people. He did not enter a plea. His lawyer requested a psychiatric report. If convicted, he faces life behind bars. Okay, I will read this again. The man accused of unleashing a barrage of gunfire on a subway train in New York City will be held without bail until trial on federal terror charges. Frank James, 62, appeared in court on Thursday for allegedly violating a law barring terrorist attacks on or other violence against mass transit systems. He was apprehended following a huge manhunt for the lone suspect behind the attack, which injured 23 people. He did not enter a plea. His lawyer requested a psychiatric report. If convicted, he faces a life behind bars. All right, so I would like you to have a look at the screen now, and we are going to read together. In April, a man started shooting at people on the subway in New York. The man accused of unleashing a barrage of gunfire on a subway train in New York City will be held without bail until trial on federal terror charges. Frank James, 62, appeared in court on Thursday for allegedly violating a law barring terrorist attacks or other violence against mass transit systems. He was apprehended following a huge manhunt for the lone suspect behind the attack, which injured 23 people. He did not enter a plea. His lawyer requested a psychiatric report. If convicted, he faces a life behind bars. All right, so as you can see, I marked already some more difficult, more challenging vocabulary here, and we will explain the vocabulary, okay? So the first paragraph in this is the man accused of unleashing a barrage of gunfire on a subway train in New York City will be held without bail until trial on federal terror charges. Okay, so the first one you might know, to be accused of. To be accused of means to be announced to have done something bad. Okay, so when we accuse someone, we say you did it. Okay, someone committed a crime and we accuse them of doing something. Grammar, remember guys, grammar is here very important. So after of, we put a verb with ing. So we say accused of stealing, accused of committing, accused of raping. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we add a verb with ing. So he was accused of what? He was accused of unleashing a barrage of gunfire. Okay, so a barrage of gunfire is to let out a series of gunshots. Okay, so in Google it said artillery. So it's like like this, right? So to unleash is to let out. Okay, very often unleash, we can unleash our dogs. For example, we can also unleash our energy. We can unleash our emotions. We are letting them out. We are letting them out. And here, this man unleashed a barrage of gunfire, which means a barrage of gunfire, it means like this, right? A lot of gunshots. So he was accused of, so someone said that he did it, of letting out a lot of gunshots. Okay? Next, he will be held without bail. He will be held without bail. He was stopped and kept in prison, or actually in jail. There is a difference, without a possibility of release for money. So if you watch some, for example, crime shows on Netflix, there will be something like release on bail. which means to be let out of prison or jail. You pay money and then you can go out. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you're innocent. It just means that you can go home, but you have to go back to court for your trial. Okay, but here the judge decided that he will be there in prison or in jail, and he will be kept there. He cannot pay the money, he cannot go home, he needs to stay in prison. And trial. A trial is a meeting at court where someone is judged for crimes. Okay, so he will be in prison, or he will be in jail, I guess, until the trial, until that meeting in court where they say if you're innocent or not. A trial on the federal terror charges. Okay, this one is a little bit something else that we don't really have this in Poland, because we are not a federation. We are one country, but in the States they have federal law, which means it's a law that applies. It is for the whole country, because in the States every state might have different laws. Some are different, they differ from each other, but here is the federal terror law. It is one law for the whole country. A meeting at court when someone is judged for terror actions against the federal state. Okay, so here he is judged for terror. Okay, so he is not a terrorist, but he actually committed a crime that can be considered as that, because he allegedly committed that crime because, he just basically attacked a lot of people in a public place. Okay, so here we have accused of unleashing a barrage of gunfire. So someone said that he is guilty of shooting, letting out a lot of gunshots. Then we have to be held without bail. So he can stay in prison, in jail, and he cannot pay any money. He will be held there. A trial is meeting at court where they say if it's guilty or not, and a trial on federal terror charges. Okay, so it means that he will be judged for committing a crime against the federal state, against the whole country. Okay, here also I forgot about this, but here we have a subway train. Okay, subway train is metro. It's the same as a metro, and it's the same as going underground. So, in general, most subways go underground, and this one is in New York City. Okay, next paragraph we have Frank James, 62, appeared in court on Thursday for allegedly violating a law barring terrorist attacks or other violence against mass transit systems. Okay, so first of all, this is how we talk about people in the news very often. So Frank James, and then 2 commas, 62, that's his age. He's 62 years old. So he appeared in court on Thursday for allegedly violating a law barring. Okay, so allegedly, it's an adverb, czyli jest przysłówkiem. Allegedly is something is claimed to be true but not proven. Okay, because of course he is accused of doing this. Okay, but no one proved it yet. The judge didn't say you are guilty of this. So until then, we cannot say that he is guilty. Okay, and also this is very interesting. The press cannot say that he is guilty. They can say he's accused of. they can say that he allegedly did something. Very often we will use this adverb to say someone did something allegedly, because until the court says, we cannot say that it's definitely the truth. Then we have to violate. To violate is to break something. In here we are violating a law. So we broke the law. We committed a crime, we broke the law if we violate it. Okay, so violating a law barring. A law barring is a law that forbids something. Okay, to bar something means to forbid. This word has a lot of meanings. Okay, if you put bar, to bar, in the dictionary, you will get a lot of meanings. But here, when we talk about a law, then we have it means the same as to forbid. So a law barring is a law that says you mustn't do this. This is not allowed, okay? So this law bars terrorist attacks or other violence against mass transit systems, okay? Mass transit systems is a transportation that transports a lot of people. So in metro in New York, of course there are a lot of people. It is a mass transit system. So he is accused of breaking a law, okay, that says you cannot terrorize the mass transit system. You cannot terrorize any transportation that transports a lot of people. Okay, so here we have allegedly, so rzekomo in Polish. To violate is to break, and a law barring is a law that says no, you cannot do this. You mustn't do this. This is not allowed. Next one, he was apprehended following a huge manhunt for the lone suspect behind the attack, which injured 23 people. To be apprehended means to be arrested. Okay, so another word, the same that means to be arrested, but here we have apprehend. A manhunt is a chase after someone. So, we're going on a hunt to hunt animals, right? But we also have a manhunt. A manhunt is usually used when they chase criminals. So when someone commits a crime and then runs away and hides somewhere and it takes a long time, it's a manhunt because usually a lot of police officers are involved, a lot of people are involved, and helicopters and all that. So it is like a hunt, right? So a manhunt is a chase after someone. A lone suspect is a person who is the only one and is suspected of something. So he was alone, he was the only one that committed the crime, and he's suspected. So people think, I think he did it. Yeah, so he's suspected of a crime, and he was also alone. Okay, so here we have apprehended, to be arrested. A manhunt is a chase after someone, usually after someone who committed a crime, and a lone suspect. So a person who is alone and is suspected of something. And the last one. He did not enter a plea. His lawyer requested a psychiatric report. If convicted, he faces life behind bars. So to enter a plea is to claim that an accused hasn't done anything bad. Okay? So in Polish I translated this as obrona sądowa, but it's not exactly the same, okay? U nas trochę prawo inaczej działa, dlatego enter a plea to nie jest dokładnie obrona sądowa. Enter a plea to jest wtedy, kiedy się mówi jestem niewinny, tak naprawdę, proszę mnie uniewinnić, tak? W Stanach Zjednoczonych to prawo jednak trochę, ta rozprawa trochę inaczej inaczej działa i jest coś takiego jak wejść w proszenie, dokładnie. Plea to jest prosić o coś lub błagać i on najpierw może powiedzieć, że jest niewinny i wtedy dopiero proces przechodzi w taki formalny proces. Natomiast on z tego nie skorzystał. Czyli to enter a plea, he did not say he was innocent, he didn't really say I'm innocent, he didn't want to enter that, but his lawyer requested a psychiatric report. So he asked for an examination by a psychiatrist. Okay, here remember about the pronunciation. It's not psychiatric, but it is psychiatric. Okay, when we have PS at the beginning with psychology, psychiatric, psychiatrist, and so on, we do not pronounce PS. We say psychiatric. So he asked for a psychiatric report, and he faces, so if convicted, so if the judge says you are guilty, he has a chance, we say he faces, life behind bars. So it means that to spend the rest of the life in prison. Okay, it is the same as life sentence. Okay, remember that sentence is not only sentence like I go here, czyli to nie jest tylko sentence, to nie oznacza tylko zdanie, ale sentence to jest też wyrok. Life sentence is a sentence, so the judge says you will spend the rest of your life in prison. Okay, so life behind bars is the same as life sentence. So he's if the judge says you are guilty, he will go to jail for the rest of his life. Okay, so here we have to enter a plea, so to claim that you are not guilty. To request a psychiatric report, it means to ask for an examination by a psychiatrist, and life behind the bars. So to spend the rest of your life in prison. Okay, so now I would like you to tell me, so it is now your turn to write 2 or 3 sentences about what happened. Okay, so this is something that I would like you to do now, if you would like to. 2 or 3 sentences about what happened. So let's imagine you go to work and there is your friend James, your colleague James, and James says, oh my gosh, did you hear what happened in Brooklyn? And you said, yes, I heard about it. And now you have to exchange information. So James doesn't know that the man was caught. Okay, James said, oh, the man shot people. And what happened next? Do you know if they caught him? So what happened to this man? Did they catch him? Is he in jail? Is he free? Did they not catch him? So write 2-3 sentences about what happened. So this is your task to do now, if you'd like. And we will do a quiz in a moment. I will give you a couple of minutes if you want to take this opportunity and write 2-3 sentences. I'm very surprised that so few people heard about this. It was, they were afraid that it was a terrorist attack, that it was Al-Qaeda again or some other organization. But it turned out that it was this man, and he's not well, obviously, I think. And something happened in his life that he just went and started shooting people. Very scary things. I watched some interviews with people who survived this. Of course, it's a big trauma for them, and some of them say they will never go on a subway ever again in their lives, and I'm not surprised. In London, there were also terrorist attacks like a long time ago. I was in London back then, and I was working, and I got to work on the line where the terrorist attacks happened, and it was one of my colleagues from work was actually on the train that blew up, and she was in a hospital, and she had a big trauma after that, and she took her a long time to go on the metro. So if you want, you can put some stuff in 2 or 3 sentences in the comments, but we will move to our quiz, of course. Okay, so let me just open this, and here. So he was accused of, he was accused of a man shooting, shot, or shoot. He was accused of. So here we have a little bit of grammar to start. Katarzyna was first. Anyone? Magdalena. Oh, Agnieszka, very good. I will come back to you in a moment. Very nice, good job. Okay, so yes, A is the correct answer. Isabella, very well done. Agnieszka, very well done. Yes, very good, guys. Shooting. He was accused of shooting a man. So remember, after of, we have verb ing. To jest, będzie Wam się bardzo często zdarzać, tak? Ja zawsze na to zwracam uwagę, bo wydaje mi się, że często o tym zapominamy. Jak mamy of, in, an, on, at, over, co tam jeszcze, for, with i tak dalej, i po tych słowach mamy czasownik, to do tego czasownika dodajemy ing, tak? I tutaj mamy oskarżony o coś, czyli accused of something, i teraz, jeżeli mamy czasownik, to dodajemy do tego czasownika ing. I tu mamy shooting, accused of shooting. Very well done, very well done. What is the man suspected of? Releasing a barrage of smoke, releasing a barrage of gunshots, or releasing a barrage of terror? A, B, or C? A, B, or C, guys. So, what do you think? A, B, or C? What is the man suspected of? Releasing a barrage of smoke, releasing a barrage of gunshots, or releasing a barrage of terror? What is here? It is a little bit tricky. Okay. Katarzyna. Okay, Katarzyna says C, that it is. Isabella says B. Okay, anyone has a different opinion. Agnieszka says B. Alright, yes, it is B. Releasing a barrage of gunshots. Okay, so releasing a barrage of Magdalena, very good. Releasing a barrage of gunshots. So it means releasing a lot of gunshots. Releasing a barrage of terror is not really correct. We actually, we could say something like that. It sounds very, I would say, poetic. Okay, it sounds, if you say, oh, he released a barrage of terror, it is quite poetic, but he's not accused of or suspected of that. Right? He is not suspected of that. He's not suspected that someone suspected him of releasing a lot of terror. He is suspected of shooting people. Right? So B is correct here. It was a little bit tricky here for you. Okay, and next one. A barrage of gunfire means a few gunshots, an artillery. This is the word that I can never pronounce. See? Artillery of gunshots and no gunshots. Okay, A, B, or C. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So, is it only a few? Is it an artillery? Got it. I got it right. Or no gunshots? Okay, so I can see that Alexandra said something else. Agnieszka, I think, said something. Okay. So here we will have be. Be. Be because it means a lot. Okay? And we can say that it's like almost like an army shooting. It is a lot of gunshots. Okay? So not a few, but a lot. A barrage of gunfire, it means to release, to shoot a lot of gunshots. All right. And next one. A law barring something is a law that allows something, forbids something, and limits something. A law barring something is a law that allows something, forbids something, or limits something. What do you think? Allows, forbids, or limits. Agnieszka was first. Okay, Agnieszka is on the case today. Alexandra also. Who is next one? What do you think? Allows, forbids, or limits? Barring. A law barring something. Very important word. Katarzyna. Well done, everyone. Good job. So, forbids. A law barring something is a law that forbids you to do something. Okay? So, we can say, of course, this law forbids smoking in public places, right? But we can also say this law bars smoking in a public place. Okay? Another synonym for forbidding. She, killed him. It's not proven yet. So, already, alternatively, or allegedly. Already, alternatively, or allegedly. So it means that it hasn't been proven yet. We only can think that she did it. Ah, wow. Okay, everyone at the same time. Magdalena, Aleksandra, and Agnieszka. Very good. C is Katarzyna also, and Kasia. Allegedly. Yes, allegedly. Allegedly, it means that maybe, but we cannot be sure. It's not proven. The judge didn't say that someone is guilty. I am actually interested if in Poland we have the same law, because in the US we say that he is there's a saying, I can't remember now, accused until proven guilty or something like that. So basically you cannot say that someone is guilty and that someone did it until the judge says so. So that's why we have this word allegedly, because, or for example, we very often we would say claim, twierdzić. So the victim, for example, we would say the victim claims that, right? But you are innocent till the court proves it. Yeah, so for example, if the press, if TVN, for example, says this man did it before the judge says anything about it, gives the final sentence, TVN can be accused of giving false information. I'm not really sure if in Poland it's the same, if it's but in this state it's very important. Like the press cannot say this man is guilty, this man did it before the judge says so. And it's really something that they really, pay attention to. In Poland, we say podejrzany, Alexandra says, of course, someone is suspected, but I'm interested if it's something that you cannot do. It says, this man is guilty of doing something, and before the judge says that. Okay, a life behind bars is a capital punishment, a life sentence, or a life judgment. A life behind bars is a capital punishment, a life sentence, or a life judgment? What do you think? Alexandra was first. Agnieszka, good. Very, very well done. Anyone? I'm just gonna give you... Okay, B is correct. The correct answer, of course, it's a life sentence. Anyone knows, czy ktoś wie, anyone knows what is a capital punishment? Co to jest capital punishment? Anyone? Does anyone know what that is? A life sentence is, of course, you know, when a judge says you are going to jail for life. A life judgment, yeah, maybe if someone judges you for life or something like that, I don't know. We could say that, but it's nothing that is, like I made it up. It's nothing that's worth remembering. But capital punishment, there is something like that. And I'm interested if you know what it is, a capital punishment. If you know, let me know in the comments. I will tell you in a moment. But I want to go back to Agnieszka's comment about what happened. So the 62-year-old man started shooting to people in the subway. He was held without bail. Good, Agnieszka, good job. Poprawię Cię, ok? Więc po pierwsze, started shooting. Shooting piszemy S-H-O-O-T-I-N-G, shooting. Jeżeli strzelamy do ludzi, to mówimy shoot at people, ok? Shoot at. So the man started shooting at people in the subway. He was held without bail. That's perfect. Very well done for using 62-year-old men. That's a very good. Sometimes it's hard to know how to use that, but you used it very, very well. Well done. Good job. Okay, so remember shooting at someone. Good. Okay. So Agnieszka and Alexandra say kara śmierci. Yes. Capital punishment to jest kara śmierci. Okay? Death sentence is also the same. When there's no difference, I don't think. Alexandra says, did you hear about what happened on the Brooklyn subway? The men unleashed a barrage of gunfire. Apparently they caught him. I hope he spent his life behind bars. Okay, good. Alexandra, few things. This is really good. Well done. So, did you hear about what happened on the Brooklyn subway? That's good. Jeżeli chcemy być bardziej, jeżeli powiedzmy miałoby być to, bo ja nie chcę też tego sprawdzać pod względem pisowni, interpunkcji i tak dalej, okay? Bo zajmujemy się w zasadzie taką konwersacją o tym, żeby wiedzieć, jak o czymś powiedzieć, ale jeżeli miałabym się przyczepić, to pamiętajmy, że po angielsku nazwy własne, nawet jeżeli one zamieniają się w przymiotniki, takie jak polski, angielski, brukliński, wszystko idzie z dużej litery, ok? No ale to dajmy na to, przymkniemy na to oko, nie? The man unleashed a barrage of gunfire, czyli mamy czas przeszły. On to zrobił wcześniej, tak? Czyli dodajemy ed. Unleash jest czasownikiem regularnym, dodajemy ed. The man unleashed a barrage of gunfire. Apparently they caught him. Very good. I hope he spends his life, ja bym dała, bo tam aż się prosi, żeby dać his life behind bars. I to jest bardzo dobre zdanie. Generalnie bardzo dobre wyrażenie life behind bars. Very good. Ale ja bym przede wszystkim dajemy as he spends his life i tam aż się prosi, żeby dać his. Dlaczego nie wiem do końca, dlaczego aż się prosi, żeby dać his, ale ja bym dała na pewno his, dlatego, że to jest jego życie, żeby zaznaczyć, że to jest jego życie, jakbyśmy dali the life na przykład, ewentualnie mogło być, ale to też wtedy odnosimy się do życia czyje to jest życie, tak? No to jest jego życie, więc przeważnie w takich przypadkach dajemy his, no i gramatyka tutaj he spends his life behind bars. Okay, good job, Aleksandra, well done. Ok, moi drodzy, będziemy powoli kończyć. Jak Wam się lekcja podobała? Jak uważacie, że było fajnie? To dajcie znać kciukami w górę, serduchami, komentarzem, czy podzieleniem się również z innymi tym live'em. Będzie mi bardzo, bardzo miło. Zawsze mi jest miło, jak dajecie mi trochę miłości z rana. Dziękuję bardzo. Aleksandra mówi, chciałam napisać szybko, zgadzam się z Tobą. Okej. Ja wiem, że czasami tak jest, jak ja Wam zadaję tutaj pytania, to musicie szybko pisać, nie zastanawiacie się i czasami się gdzieś tam coś gdzieś tam się coś pominie, nie? Więc jak najbardziej, wiecie, uznajemy takie błędy. Beata says nice and easy. Okay, good. Nice and easy is good too. Very difficult new words, Pav says. Okay, so you are guys on different levels. So I'm always trying to adjust it to so it is not too difficult but not too easy, right? So I hope that you enjoyed the lesson and you thought that it was useful as well. Zachęcam Was, moi drodzy, do tego, tak jak mówiłam, żeby zaglądać na wiadomości. Oczywiście, jeżeli jesteście na poziomie początkującym, to być może będzie dla Was trochę ciężej, żeby zrozumieć jakieś wiadomości. Natomiast już na takim poziomie komunikacyjnym, na poziomie B, C, to naprawdę warto zaglądać do wiadomości. Ja wiem, że ja na przykład staram się nie karmić siebie wiadomościami, tym bardziej, że wiadomości w ostatnich czasach są bardzo, bardzo przytłaczające i bardzo depresyjne i staram się jednak, żeby jednak nie obciążać się tymi wszystkimi wiadomościami, ale dla samej nauki naprawdę warto raz dziennie, powiedzmy, przeglądać nawet nagłówki, nie musicie czytać. Może Was coś zainteresuje, na przykład BBC ma bardzo fajne, jak wejdziecie sobie na BBC i zjedziecie sobie trochę na dół, to oni mają tak zwane rolki. Ja nie wiem, czy używacie Instagrama. Rolki to są teraz takie, powiedzmy, do minuty, bardzo, bardzo krótkie wideo. Przeważnie na przykład przy BBC czasami w ogóle nawet nie mówią, tylko jest coś leci, jakiś film i do tego są napisy i oni mają coś takiego i to się bardzo fajnie ogląda, trochę wciąga, ostrzegam, ale można na przykład sobie coś takiego pooglądać, nawet przeglądać sobie nagłówki, zobaczyć, co jest teraz na czasie, o czym się teraz mówi, czy wiemy, jak o czymś opowiedzieć. Bo to jest też naprawdę ważne. Czy wiemy, jak podzielić się z drugą osobą jakąś informacją, która jest w wiadomościach. Naprawdę, naprawdę polecam tego typu ćwiczenia, tego typu douczanie się, tak? Wydaje mi się, że nawet, wiecie, jak macie lekcje z lektorem, to w takich momentach również bardzo dobrze jest interesować się przeróżnymi rzeczami, bo możecie sobie zrobić small talka na samym początku lekcji. Przecież lekcja nie musi być od razu o czasownikach nieregularnych, tylko może się zacząć small talkiem, tak? I to też jest dosyć ważne, żeby sobie, a co tam u Ciebie, a słyszałeś, że to, tamto, wiecie, może z lektorem interesujecie się tymi samymi rzeczami, czy wiecie, jak o tym porozmawiać. Interesujcie się takimi rzeczami, tak? Interesujcie się, nie tylko siadamy i robimy książkę, gramatykę i ćwiczenia, ale też interesujemy się światem i tym, co się dzieje. Dzięki temu poszerzamy słownictwo również. Moi drodzy, więc będziemy kończyć. Spotykamy się oczywiście za tydzień i chciałabym Wam jeszcze powiedzieć, że po bootcampie, ponieważ bootcamp się skończył, mamy naprawdę dosyć sporo godzin wolnych z lektorami. I lektorzy teraz przyjmują na zajęcia. Pamiętajcie, że od 16 maja u nas ceny wzrastają. Jeżeli się zapiszecie przed tym czasem, to będziecie jeszcze mieli dodatkowy miesiąc w niższych cenach które były wcześniej, także warto się zapisać teraz. Poza tym, jeżeli chcecie się nauczyć mówić, chcecie się nauczyć biegle porozumiewać po angielsku, chcecie rozwinąć swoją konwersację, to nasi lektorzy na Was czekają, przygotowują lekcje do Waszego poziomu, do tego, co chcecie osiągnąć, czy zmieniacie pracę, czy chcecie wyjechać za granicę, czy chcecie poczuć się lepiej na wakacjach, to lekcje dostosowujemy właśnie do Was. I zaraz Wam podrzucę link. Umawiamy się na darmową konsultację, gdzie ja badam Wasz poziom, rozmawiamy sobie, co tam chcecie osiągnąć, nad czym chcecie się skupić i ja to wszystko daję nauczycielowi i nauczyciel przygotowuje dla Was zajęcia i później już opiera zajęcia, cały program nauczania na o to, co tam chcecie osiągnąć i czego się chcecie uczyć dokładnie, na coś chcecie się przygotować. Agnieszka mówi, lekcje u Alany zaczynają się zawsze small talkiem. Ja na to też zwracam uwagę, bardzo lubię, jak nauczyciele zaczynają od small talku. Uważam, że small talk jest bardzo ważny. Uważam, że takie zajęcia, które zaczynają się od co u Ciebie, jaka jest pogoda, a słyszałeś, że coś tam się stało, a w Polsce to i tamto, czy nawet zadawać pytania dotyczące tego, co się dzieje u nich w kraju. To jest mega, mega ważne, naprawdę, naprawdę ważne, żeby później poczuć się trochę lepiej w konwersacji, bo to Was przygotowuje po prostu do tego, to Was przygotowuje do rozmowy, do tego, żeby się zacząć otwierać trochę, żeby się przyzwyczaić do własnego głosu, do tego, jak mówimy po angielsku. Zauważymy na pewno na samym początku, że mówiąc na przykład o jakichś wiadomościach, które jest, no nie wiem, o wojnie w Ukrainie, jeżeli mówimy o tym z koleżanką po polsku, zupełnie inaczej mówimy, zupełnie inaczej się zachowujemy, zupełnie mamy inną mowę ciała niż w języku angielskim i do tego też trzeba się przyzwyczaić, bo to też bariera polega na tym, że nie jesteśmy przyzwyczajeni do siebie, jak mówimy w danym języku, w obcym języku i dlatego warto właśnie takie rzeczy ćwiczyć i bardzo się cieszę, że Alana tak zaczyna właśnie zajęcia. Okej, moi drodzy, kończymy. Muszę iść, bo dzisiaj mam dentystę. I po prostu już nie mogłam w nocy spać, bo nie lubię dentysty. No, nie to, że nie mam nic przeciwko dentystom, absolutnie nie, ale po prostu nie lubię chodzić do dentysty i bardzo się denerwuję i zawsze jakieś takie mam nerwy, to jeszcze trauma z dzieciństwa, moi drodzy. Także no, zbieram się, muszę lecieć. Thank you very much all for coming today. Let's meet next week at the same time to chat a little bit about English and in English too. Okay, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Have a wonderful Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy your week. See you next week. Bye bye.